Take 3. It might have seemed to the passion-governed 4 of us gathered, as bought 4 or 5 soon-to-be retired train conductors gathered around the midnight flame for a reconsidered seance of might, few and 3 minutes following some all but threadbare midnight's wanting passage around the tall restaurant window's tentative view of whatever was therewith from the strange and half-fictive outside world offered our travel-thirsting collective visage. Therewithal huddled, as if time and place had somehow or other dreamed the 4 of us up out of an alternate time sphere of matchstick geographies that much too soon made unsentient by the northernmost pole's apex, far beyond our ill-attended sense perceptions therewithin seated. But the real reason, whether it was governed by truth or falsity, or something else far less tenacious than the affirmation too, could have or might have at that half-proverbial place and time willed our passing through the mist-bearded cities and towns. This alternate sphere of winter-chill geography shuffled, as would a gathering of gold-brick hoarding gambeteers shuffle the cards of the deck that was their wing-perched pursuits, wanting allegiance therewith by circumspect appointed them. Out of context with our heretofore township squired and ladied past, it just so mortive at that particular moment seemed to be, although some force of night star pretenced gravity told us that much otherwise, that whatever homeland's Latin derivatives of lost and found grammaticalities and long ago heroically mythologized legends of seeming yesteryears had whirled us therewithal northernmost restauranted window-side be gathered, in our present tense huddle seemed all out of sorts with either the linear or non-linear half-realities the loose-knit past had purchased us. Be that as it was, the 4 of us were not all in any way, shape, or discordant fashion prepared for the as yet unsojourned trek farther northward awaiting us. Be that something or else otherwise, we were nonetheless unbetrayed into our then-present gathering by any vice or virtue we knew to coin into roan-horsed logicisms romantically grammared into half-shaped forms, nor falsehoods therewith choosing our inherited communications. The night, its own sort shadowy and shiftless myriad doorwayed and window curtain self had, it what of therewithal seemed to the 4 of us its own unbetrayable spirits to try us with fires all its own, reinvented from unwritten literary license, shuffled us as it might interchangeable chess pieces, doorway huddled at a board of half-trekked interior regions where within as much as they were without us. The day that had preceded its watchtowering unenumerability of lucky and unlucky fated stars now seemed to each one of us to be left him or her by and through another world of chance and permanency altogether, and the week of non-linear calendar days preceding, it's a contradiction, that particular aforementioned day of regroupable sheltered and storm that were the above preceding days inherited seemed us a lonely widower's purchase of meager descriptives. In other words, congruencies of past and future had no place where within the scheme of things driving whatever reality had mythologized us from the some otherwise previousness of beings vaguely geographologized epistemologies of peoples, places, and or journeys through into the prevent seemed into the present seemed heretofore never having existed. The very window-side table around which we were presently huddled, as well as its relative incongruence with strangely interwoven currencies of coinage likelihoods, the other side of that very same window alongside was not a place that licensed its own precocious juxtapositions from some heretofore tailor-made game of chance. It was within the matchstick pretense of a jigsaw puzzle pieced together past all that had never come to be. Time and place, in other words, knew us not. What did seem to know us was something best by its own incongruencies described as a mythologia stamped shelters furnishing of Homeric Grecian frameworks knitted together from articulations of habitude, no, not the interior vertebrae that would, 1,000 decades heretofore, piece together from a tentative past without the masterwork ability paragraphically fusing into an originational dialogue back and forth between that same dialogue, father and sonship landscaped, with interior monologue universally particular to humans' pursuit of the individuation, post-Shakespearean divided self that would have chosen to inherit from its confluence of relativization with Hegelian otherwise convolutes of the following cosmology of literatures, that instead of bearing the love's labors of their solitary pen to chance eventuality, the afterwording with its own ugly prohibition of 40 days and nights of torrential rains, portents of post-structural future economy suited to abstain their Hegelian alternate conjunctive stratagems, prefacing Christ to such Shakespeare pre-Kierkegaardian existentialismic self-interior searchlights, harbor worlds, not the original existentialist, of course. There's two who came before him. Searchlights were much stronger than his. They gave up instead the ghost of a much saner eventuality, crossroading the artistic moment of transcendence of preferring for humanity's collectivized annihilation its own individual heteroorthodoxis, according itself from without no encyclopedic definitive. A post-industrial higher abuse of the sun, earth, and moon tripartite orbitude, yin and yang back and forth into a climax of genocidal word-for-word interpretives ill regarding the primeval heritage, come, glory as future dream structural anthology, searching in and out of horrifically legitimatized and humanly innate conscience of the anti-collective transubstantiation, understood its own Christ in its own way, booked out of material bonfires, pilgrim, jingoistical, and madness, and caravan mirrored, King Richard thirdologies overtaking one after one European country toward the moment in time when one human being choosing dialogue over the other self, over monologue, inheritization of absolutized interpretives of patriarchal self, contrazizations of fatherhood, hating with self-shame the matriarchal unity some would call the dove of sacred truth. as in soul another